Hello. I know that it's been a lot longer than I originally said, releasing the next Game of Thrones, and I have lost a fair number of subscribers because of that. I can't help being busy. I can't help having a primary life away from YouTube because this isn't what I do full time. This isn't my job. I don't earn near enough to be able to call this my job. And there's way too many complications with uploading reactions, with copyright strikes and claimings and things like that that make this an impossible career to go down unless I chose something else to do. When I started reactions, I started it with Brad doing The Walking Dead 4 years ago. We didn't really know what would happen with it, where it'd go. We just kind of thought this would be a cool idea. We don't see other people doing it, and we'd like to do it and see what happens, because we had some pretty stellar reactions to The Walking Dead before we started reacting. So we decided that would be a good thing for us to do. And I never had a camera for years. I used Brad's, and he'd come round to my house and we'd just wing it. We'd film as reactions. I'd edit it super quick, and then we'd upload it, and it'd go from there. And over the years, especially during season 4, which was the first season that we started to react to, we had a huge surge of people watching our reactions, and that really motivated us to do more. We really carried on because we knew we had a fan base that enjoyed watching our reactions. I used to get hundreds of thousands of views on some of my videos and getting such great responses from people, and even some kind of critical opinions about how we react or how we do things. It was interesting to see from such a vast number of people. And then it started to slow down because so many more people started reacting, and it got so saturated. YouTube got so saturated with reactors, where the views that I was getting I was no longer getting. And that's not a problem, really. That wasn't a big deal for me, because I still did the videos, this time with Chris, because I moved to uni with him. And it wasn't always the views, it was and the high amount of views that kept me going on YouTube. It was definitely just the fact that people, no matter how small or how big, there was always a great number of people who used to enjoy our videos and criticize them or praise them or whatever. You know, we had a really good number of people who still watched our reactions. And then things changed when we left uni, when we finished university, and I wasn't in a very good place. I was a bit on my own, moving back home, and that's when I decided to do the Game of Thrones reactions, because so many people was asking me to do it and I hadn't yet watched it. And I thought it would be a really good idea to do the reactions to Game of Thrones, because so many people want to see it. And I knew that because there was such a break between season 7 and season 8, then a lot of people would want to fill that time. And that's what I found, so many people finding that time and filling it with my reactions, and yeah, so many other people's reactions. But the people who watched my Game of Thrones videos never seem to get bored of other people's reactions. You keep coming back and watching mine, and then watching somebody else, then coming back and watching mine again. But over the course of the entire time I was doing these Game of Thrones, and bearing in mind I started these at the beginning of the year, and I absolutely hammered them, so there was plenty going out in March when I was away for the month. And I think that's what burnt me out. And it burnt me out. I came back home and I had a fair long break from doing them, because I was just so tired of constantly filming and editing and filming and editing and uploading them, and not having any time to focus on what my actual career was. Then July, I went away for 2 weeks working on festivals again, and I said I'd be back the week after I came back, and a week turned into a month, and this is why I'm making this video now. Again, I came back and I was burnt out from doing all the videos. Even though I hadn't done loads before, I think I was still just so burnt out from March. I was like filming a video a day and editing a video a day to prepare myself. So there was at least 2 videos being uploaded each week while I was away on holiday. Well, going live, not uploaded because they were already uploaded. And when I came back, I had so much work. My career as an artist manager and booking agent completely shot through the roof. I had loads and loads of work to catch up on from the 2 weeks I was away. My bands really needed my help and my guidance, and so many hours went back into that for the hours that I had lost. And the reason I haven't done any Game of Thrones videos still is because I am still catching up and making sure that all my bands that I work with are set and ready, and if they have releases or singles or EPs, that they are all prepared. I'm constantly working my ass off every single day for them. And I've just been super busy with doing that, and I don't think, of course you won't realise, and I'm not faulting you for not realising that the job I do is very time consuming. And that's fine for you to not know. I don't know what your jobs are. I don't even expect you to tell me and say how difficult or time consuming your jobs are or how easy it is. But for the job that I do and the payoff that I get, I work so many hours for very little. And that's because I need to build up from nothing, build my way up and get to the top somehow or whatever. And that's the best way for me to build up, and working these long hours for my bands, showing my commitment, showing my hard work for my bands to keep them under my name takes a lot of time and effort. And because I lost basically 2 weeks of my time in July, I have to catch up on that. And I didn't realise that the 2 weeks, that is actually a really big deal in the artist music scene world, you could say, because when you lose those 2 weeks, and a lot happens in 2 weeks, a lot can happen in 2 weeks, but when you lose those 2 weeks, you are immediately 2 weeks behind, and you realise that a deadline that you had for the beginning of August, well, the end of August, is only really 4 weeks away compared to 6, and you've got to work hard to make sure that every single thing you have a deadline for is ready and prepared. And it's so difficult to keep on top of that when I'm also trying to film reactions, edit them, and then upload them. Filming videos itself, I know it doesn't seem like much, but filming them takes over an hour. Editing takes 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much of a ball ache it's going to be for me and how difficult. Uploading them can just take 20 minutes, which is super easy, but that is time out my day that I don't have, and I want to be able to relax as well, because I work stupid hours in my normal job, and then to finish that work and to go straight into YouTube when I don't actually have the time, nor am I getting the payoff from it either, even though I have really great fans watching my videos. It's so difficult to juggle, and I've really got to focus on my full-time career, where that's going, the money that I've got to earn to be able to survive, because right now I am so far below the poverty line, it's unreal. The place I'm living in right now is my mum and dad's, because I have nowhere else to go and I can't afford to live anywhere else. I've had a really tough time. I've had mental breakdowns, and the reason why I smashed out so many Game of Thrones videos is because I knew that I could get, I don't know, an extra 150 quid a month from YouTube to help me go towards all the debt that I owe. It's super difficult. And you can blame me for, and you can fault me, you can do anything, you can just say, well, it doesn't take long to film a video and edit it and get it up on YouTube. It does when I'm working my ass off all the time for the bands that I'm taking on and working with. I did burn myself out in March, and I know I've only got 2 episodes left of season 7. When I did come back from Latitude, I had a week to try and catch up, and then the week after, my sister got married, which was last week, and I'm still trying to catch up from everything now and make sure that everything is, for the rest of this year, is sorted, locked in, confirmed, and ready to go. So I don't have the time to do it. And I am really, really sorry that I'm making you wait, but I have to prioritise. I have to prioritise where my main income is coming from and focus on that. Because this, being on YouTube, is a side thing, very much a side project to have some change, have something a bit different in my life. And of course, stay connected to the people who watch my videos, because it doesn't matter how long I'm away for, I always still appreciate the people that stick around. And I know that I've lost a lot of subscribers because of not doing the videos, which is fair. If they don't want to wait around, then that's fair to them. But they're the people who don't fully understand that I have a completely different life away from the camera. One that they will never understand. The bottom line is, I need to focus on my main career and what I'm doing now, as opposed to filling my time with YouTube, or the time that I don't have 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day that I don't have. I know I only need to do 1 video a week. I know that. I don't need to put loads of hours in, but it's just finding the time to get it done and be social. See the people that mean the most to me. See friends, work. I just don't want to be the person who sits behind a desk all the time, which is what I ended up doing before. And that took me into a really difficult, shitty place. Because then I started to realise that I'm not earning enough money and I am completely skint and broken and basically bankrupt. And I'm always loaning off my parents, or was when I was at university, because I couldn't afford to live then either. And now I'm loaning basically a house off them to live under their roof. I know it kind of sucks because I want to be independent, but the only way I can even think about being independent is focusing on my career, and YouTube is not my career. So I'm sorry to those who decided they wanted to leave just because I wasn't putting up YouTube videos. That does suck, honestly. It really, really does suck that people get so pissed off that I haven't uploaded. And thanks to the people who are asking if I'm dead. I'm not dead, evidently. I'm very much alive, just very, very busy. But it does really suck that people go to the extent of commenting on my videos and saying some really fucking shitty stuff and leaving because they've waited too long for a new video. Surely waiting longer and seeing it drop into your subscriptions, is a good feeling. You get excited. But I guess if you got bored of waiting and you just leave, it's fine. But yeah, I'm sorry for taking a while, and I'm sorry for focusing on my own career and trying to survive on the very little money that I do earn. So I will try and get a new Game of Thrones video out as soon as possible, but just don't know when it'll be. Yeah. Just hang fire and bear with me. I would appreciate that. So I've only got 2 more episodes left. And then I can have a very long break. And then I can see if I want to do season 8. Okay. I will see you soon if you stick around, and thanks for sticking around if you have. Sorry for the lack of communication and all that jazz. Bye.